Chosen one, get ready for a Saturday surprise. Only 1%. This is not just any Saturday. This isn't just another day you check off the calendar. This Saturday is encoded with something rare, something reserved. The universe has been holding something in divine escrow, not because it was delayed, but because it had to align with the exact rhythm of God's orchestration. This is the Saturday that belongs to the 1%, those chosen by destiny, preserved through fire, and elevated by divine decision. The kind of surprise that is coming will not knock politely at the door of your expectations. It's going to break the limitations of your life and elevate you beyond what your mind had made room for. And it's already in motion. Stay with me until the very end of this message and write your warmest wishes in the comments below and type the number 99. Why? Because it's a number of completion, alignment, breakthrough, and divine closure. The final touch before the fullness is released. As you write it, let the universe register your intent. Let heaven recognize your voice. This is not just about words. It's about transferring power into action, desire into manifestation, and wishes into waves that reach the energetic field of all things possible. Now, chosen one, press the hype button and like this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. There are moments in your life when everything that seems still begins to shift without warning. You don't feel it in your bones at first. It doesn't appear on the news. But there's a spiritual gravity that suddenly turns in your favor. And when it does, it drags the miracles out of hiding. That's what this Saturday is about. It's about the concealed becoming revealed. It's about the final file of your destiny being unsealed in the divine courtroom. And God has already signed off on the release. You've been prepared for a moment you didn't even know was being planned in the background. And when it shows up, it won't ask for your permission. It will recognize your identity. Not everyone will experience what's coming. That's why this is only for 1%. This surprise isn't meant for everyone who watched or waited. It's for those who carried a silent endurance, a quiet strength, a holy resistance when everything around them shouted, "Give up." It's for the ones who didn't conform when others compromised. It's for those who protected their faith in silence and stayed awake when others went to sleep. It's for those who believed even when nothing looked believable. The Saturday surprise is not casual. It is calculated. It's not vague. It is verified by the Spirit. And it's not a coincidence. It's confirmation. God has held certain things back from you, not as punishment, but as preservation. You weren't delayed. You were being refined. You weren't being overlooked. You were being orchestrated. There were doors you wanted to open 6 months ago that would have led to distractions, detours, and disappointment. But now, the right ones, designed and assigned specifically for you, are going to open with no resistance. And when they do, you'll look back and say, "God, thank you for not giving me what I thought I wanted, and instead giving me what I was born for." There's something sacred about divine timing. And when God selects a Saturday for something massive to occur, it's not for symbolism, it's strategic. Saturday, in its spiritual essence, is a threshold between what was and what will be. It's the day between the silence and the sound. And that's why he chose this specific one to break something wide open. For the chosen one, this Saturday is not the end of the week. It's the beginning of wonders. The door you've been staring at in your spirit is about to move. The notification you thought was delayed is about to ring. The answer you stopped asking for is about to announce itself with a thunderous yes. There are people who didn't believe in you, They saw your effort, but not your essence. They misread your silence as weakness and your patience as confusion. But you were never unsure. You were just waiting for the right move from heaven. And now it's arriving. This Saturday will shock those who counted you out. It will confuse those who watched your wilderness and assumed it would bury you. But the very soil they thought would silence you has become the ground of your acceleration. What they saw as your ending was God setting up a public beginning, and He's about to make it visible. You felt strange lately, not yourself, a little disconnected from your old routines. That's because your spirit has already travelled ahead. It knows something is forming. That divine restlessness wasn't anxiety. It was anticipation. Your spirit got the notification before your phone ever could. And that's why it feels like you're outgrowing everything around you, because you are. This Saturday is the signal that your environment will now begin to match the elevation inside of you. God is synchronizing the external with the eternal. Chosen one, I want you to understand this deeply. What is coming is not just a blessing. It's a reversal. It will undo every mocking laugh, every rejection, every delay, every detour, every denial. It will flip the script in a way that only God can. And when people see it, they'll try to explain it. They'll try to make sense of it. But they won't be able to, because it was never man-made. It was spirit-delivered. And the instructions that led to this moment were written in heaven before you ever knew they existed. You've simply been walking in alignment. And now it's time for arrival. The kind of favour that's coming can't be bought, negotiated, or imitated. It's a rare code, a holy assignment, a spiritual lottery that only the 1% who endured silently are eligible for. That's why it's going to shock even you this Saturday. Don't look for signs in the ordinary. Look in the disruption. Look in the unexpected. Look in the divine interruptions that seem random but carry revelation. God loves to surprise the chosen ones when they least expect it, because it keeps their faith fresh and their worship raw. You didn't see it coming, but it saw you coming. Something is already moving on your behalf. Something is being rerouted toward your name. The files in heaven have been updated. The angels have been dispatched. The heavens are in alignment. And you, chosen one, are next. You've been divinely scheduled. The blessing has been time-stamped. And when Saturday touches your timeline, you'll realize why it had to be now and not any sooner. Because what's been prepared for you would have crushed you before. But now you've grown into the strength to carry it. You didn't miss it. You didn't lose it. It didn't skip over you. It was simply waiting for this moment of cosmic activation. The timing was never about delay. It was about divine delivery. And now the sky is opening over your life. The flow is starting. The supernatural transaction has been initiated. And you will know it's God, because no one will be able to take credit for what happens next. Not even you. It will be too precise, too perfect, too powerful to be human. This Saturday, the energy around you will shift. The atmosphere will whisper your name. Opportunities that forgot you will remember. Paths that were closed will clear. Messages will arrive. Approvals will be granted. And you won't even need to force it, because it's already been finalized. This is what the waiting was for. This is what the warfare was preparing you for. This is the unveiling, the release, the reward. And now it's your time. What's about to arrive isn't just for your comfort. It's for your calling. God is not blessing you just so you can feel better. He's blessing you so you can become louder, more visible, more effective, more magnetic to your destiny. This Saturday surprise isn't a relief. It's a realignment, a powerful push into the next atmosphere. What used to feel too far is now sitting close. What you once had to chase is now looking for you. The old days of striving are being replaced with divine attraction. You are entering a zone of supernatural gravity where your name pulls blessings toward it without explanation. The 1% are not defined by their appearance. They are defined by their permission. They've been authorized by God to walk with power, to command doors, to carry light into places others fear to enter. You chosen one a part of this divine minority. And the surprise coming this Saturday is not just to impress you, it's to confirm you. You've been asking quietly if you're still on the right path. You've been wondering if the silence meant abandonment. But silence was strategy. The quiet seasons were sacred chambers where your next was being built, brick by brick, in a realm unseen. People may think the shift in your life was sudden, but they don't know how long you've been sowing in secret. They don't know the nights you cried, but still rose with dignity. They don't know the rooms you sat in with brokenness in your chest, but purpose in your posture. They don't know the number of times you wanted to quit, but kept going anyway, because something inside wouldn't let you. That something was God. And now he's responding, not with crumbs, not with a small sign, but with something so unmistakably holy that it will shake your timeline. This Saturday will stand as a line in your life, a before and after. You'll look back at all the Saturdays before this one and realize they were all building toward this moment. The energy around you is being recalibrated. The momentum is shifting and your story is catching fire. No one will be able to deny what's happening. Even those who tried to sabotage you will be forced to watch your elevation unfold. You don't need revenge when you're marked for revival. God is making your life a billboard of divine justice. And the unveiling begins now. Your name is being spoken in rooms you haven't entered yet. And not by people, by divine forces. You are being prepared for introductions that will feel like sudden alignments, but are actually long-anticipated connections from a higher dimension. The people you need are being drawn to you. The resources are being magnetized. This isn't a wish, it's a wave and you're on it. Don't be surprised when you start to feel things speeding up. Don't be alarmed when what used to take months now happens in a matter of hours, because divine acceleration has been activated. And God didn't forget the details. He didn't overlook your uniqueness. This surprise has your signature on it. It knows your pain. It knows your process. It's built for your purpose. No one else can walk into it and own it like you can. You were the one chosen to carry this next chapter, not because of your perfection, but because of your persistence, not because of your appearance, but because of your agreement. You said yes when it cost you everything. And now everything is being returned, multiplied, magnified, and marked as yours. This is not luck. This is not karma. This is kingdom. This is legacy. This is God's strategy finally revealing itself. You are no longer walking blind. You're walking bold, because now you know you were always headed here. Every detour, every heartbreak, every closed door was part of the divine rerouting system. You weren't being pushed out. You were being pushed into position. That's why you couldn't fit where others did. That's why it never made sense trying to mimic their path. Your trail was being carved through realms they couldn't even see. This Saturday is holy. You may not see fireworks. You may not feel a jolt in your chest, but the codes in your atmosphere will change. The energy in your surroundings will adjust. It's like the whole world is leaning slightly in your direction. And that's not coincidence. It's confirmation. You are being wrapped in divine favor. What used to be hard will become fluid. What used to drain you will now empower you. You are not the same anymore. You've crossed into a new frequency, and your life is about to become proof. It won't just be about what you receive, it's about who you become. God is upgrading your essence. People will notice something has changed, even if they can't name it. They'll feel the glow. They'll sense the light. They'll hear your words and feel your weight, because now you are walking with the surprise embedded in your soul. You are the vessel carrying the sacred unexpected. You are the one chosen to demonstrate the shift. This isn't just about getting a breakthrough, it's about becoming one. Chosen one, this Saturday is not ordinary. It has been prophesied into your calendar, etched into your soul contract, stamped with supernatural ink. The heavens have signed the agreement. The shift has been sealed. The only thing left is for you to show up, aware, aligned, and open. Not with fear, not with doubt, but with boldness, with the kind of faith that says, I don't know how it will happen, but I know who's behind it. That kind of faith shakes doors open. That kind of certainty causes even the impossible to make room. You've always felt you were different, not in arrogance, but in awareness. You couldn't explain it, but you carried something. A sensitivity, a fire, a sacred rebellion against the ordinary. That was your indicator. That was your signal that you were made for a reality that doesn't follow rules. It follows revelation. And now that revelation is unfolding in your favor, the pages are turning, the momentum is rising, and you, chosen one, are at the center of the story. You are not late. You are not lacking. You are not locked out. The system is bending for you now. The path is opening for you, and this Saturday will announce it loudly, clearly, unmistakably. This is the beginning of something your lineage will remember. This is the kind of surprise only God could prepare. This is what it looks like when heaven touches your life. Chosen one, you've walked through seasons where you felt like everything was watching you, but nothing was working for you. You stood in places where it seemed like the universe had paused, where time stretched longer than it should have, and where your spirit begged for movement, even when your mind told you to wait. You were not being punished in those moments. You were being positioned. God was not ignoring you. He was protecting the timing of your release. And now the restraint is gone. The seal is broken. And the surprise has been sent. The reason this surprise will be so divine, so impossible to miss, is because it doesn't just change something. It changes everything. Not only externally, but internally. You're not being gifted just an outcome. You're being transformed into someone who now expects acceleration, who commands favor without begging for it. That is what God has built into this Saturday. He didn't just assign a date on the calendar. He crafted a convergence point, a holy moment of divine recall, where every seed you've ever sown in pain is being remembered and returned in power. There is an energy rising around you that even you cannot explain. Things that once drained you are losing their power. Old voices that used to shake your confidence now sound like whispers. You've shifted. You've crossed into a realm where you are now sensitive to divine alignment and allergic to anything that no longer serves your highest timeline. That isn't you becoming cold. That's you becoming concentrated. Because when God is preparing you for the kind of Saturday that shifts atmospheres, He doesn't want you diluted by doubt. And there will be signs, some subtle, some so bold they'll knock the air out of your lungs. The message will reach you through channels you never expected. A conversation you didn't initiate, a message you didn't chase, a door you forgot you knocked on. The divine surprise is not tied to logic, it's tied to destiny. And your destiny has been stamped with rare frequency. You're not like the rest. You're not here to blend in. You were set apart for holy interruption. And this Saturday is your announcement. People will wonder why everything starts changing after this weekend. They'll think it's a coincidence, but you'll know. You'll know that something clicked into place, that something divine was deployed, that heaven's architecture was suddenly visible in the flow of your life. You'll wake up with clarity. You'll speak with boldness. You'll walk differently, not because of ego, but because of encoded awareness. The moment you realize God just confirmed everything you felt but couldn't explain, you stop apologizing for being powerful. This surprise, chosen one, is not the kind you unwrap. It's the kind that unfolds around you. You won't chase it. It will rise to meet you. It will touch your finances, your atmosphere, your energy, your influence. It will affect how people respond to you, how opportunities recognize you, how the universe cooperates with your presence. There is no striving involved, only standing, only knowing, only being. Because that's the new frequency you're stepping into. One where knowing is more powerful than trying. One where presence becomes provision. The 1% that will feel this Saturday's impact are not better than anyone else, but they are braver. Braver to believe beyond proof. Braver to continue even when nothing made sense. Braver to carry a vision without validation. And God never forgets the brave. He rewards the silent warriors, the ones who didn't post every pain, the ones who cried in the car and still showed up with purpose, the ones who were overlooked by people but handpicked by the divine. If that's you, then this Saturday is yours. God is going to make it loud. You won't have to explain it to anyone. The shift will speak for itself. The results will prophesy. The transformation will radiate. You'll find yourself being reintroduced to your own life because it will no longer look like the survival season you came out of. You'll stand in rooms you once prayed to just glimpse. You'll speak in ways that echo beyond the moment. And your presence will now carry weight because you are no longer walking into places with uncertainty. You're walking in with the knowing. This is the moment you were shaped for. And there's something else. The surprise coming to you carries multiplication. It will not just touch one area. It will ripple across your entire landscape. A change in one zone will trigger motion in others. God is not dropping just one blessing. He is triggering a chain reaction. What you thought was a single breakthrough is actually the tip of a divine iceberg. Underneath the surface, countless layers are rising with it. He's not just fixing one thing, he's reintroducing you to your full inheritance. Chosen one, don't shrink now. Don't lower your frequency to accommodate what's familiar. This Saturday doesn't just release power, it requires power. The version of you that's receiving this surprise has to match its weight. So walk like it's already yours. Speak like you've already arrived. Worship like the heavens are already open because they are. The curtain is lifted, the spotlight is positioned, and you, without even realizing it, are standing center stage in God's next big reveal. There will be those who try to downplay your surprise. Don't explain it. Don't justify it. Don't try to make it palatable for people who never understood your process. This moment is not about making others comfortable. It's about you finally being confirmed. And confirmation doesn't need permission. It simply needs activation. This Saturday will activate parts of you you've never seen. Talents that were dormant, ideas that felt too big, dreams that seemed too distant, all of them are coming forward because now is when they were meant to be seen. Your atmosphere has already responded. That's why you've been feeling strange. Time feels different. Conversations feel more intense. The air around you carries weight. It's all part of the alignment. The veil is thinning. The distance between heaven's plan and your physical world is collapsing. This isn't just spiritual talk. This is energetic reality. And once you step into Saturday, you'll know you've crossed into a new realm. There will be no going back because nothing will be the same. You are standing in the middle of prophecy, not one given by others, but one written in the deep places of your soul. You saw this long before it showed up. You whispered it in the dark. You protected it when no one else saw it. And now it's here, arriving without announcement, showing up with the force of destiny and carrying with it the holy surprise only 1% are chosen to witness. This is not just Saturday. This is your activation. This is your sign from God. This is the moment the heavens roll out your divine inheritance. And you are the living proof of prophecy fulfilled. You felt it coming, even if you couldn't name it, a growing sensation, a subtle pressure in your spirit, a vibration around your days that didn't exist before. And now everything inside you is beginning to agree. Something major is about to arrive. That's not just a feeling, that's prophetic resonance. That's your spirit syncing with divine orchestration. God is aligning what was kept in waiting. And it's no longer a matter of if, it's simply when. And that when chosen one is now. Your timeline is shifting. And it's happening with speed that breaks every rule of logic. You're entering a divine override. In this place, man-made clocks and worldly limitations hold no power. What would have taken years is being folded into ours. What was meant to be lost is being restored without trace of damage. What you thought had passed you by is returning. Not as it was, but upgraded for who you've become. And this surprise on Saturday is the sign that divine speed has replaced natural pace. It's not just about momentum, it's about divine memory. Heaven has not forgotten you. Every moment of obedience, every act of faith, every painful yet purposeful step you took was recorded. You didn't see the results immediately, but the storage of your sacrifice was never deleted. God stored every one of them in a sacred vault. And now that vault is opening. That's why this Saturday feels heavier. Not with burden, but with glory. The weight wasn't denial. It was storage. And now it's being delivered. You are walking into a prepared moment, a moment that knew your name before you arrived, a moment that has been echoing in the higher realms long before it could appear in your physical world. This is why it feels familiar. This is why the anticipation inside you has no explanation, because your soul already visited this space before your body arrived. This isn't new, it's remembered. And Saturday is when memory becomes manifestation. There are energies moving on your behalf that you cannot see. Angels assigned to your next step are already in motion. Doors are being held open by unseen hands. Approvals are being stamped in silence. Agreements are being drawn up without your awareness. Because you're not meant to make it happen. You're meant to walk into it. This isn't about force, this is about flow. And now, the current is finally strong enough to carry what belongs to you into your hands. There's a sound attached to your name, a frequency that only the right situations, places, and people can hear. And God has just turned the volume up. That's why certain things are being drawn to you. Things that seemed silent are now moving again. People who forgot you are suddenly remembering. Ideas you shelved are burning with new urgency. Your own voice is sounding louder in your head. These are the signs that your atmosphere has caught the signal, and what responds next will confirm the shift. Chosen one, what's coming is not subtle, it's not gentle, it's not passive, it's bold, loud, overwhelming in the best way, and it has one assignment: to prove that God was in the room even when you thought you were alone. The surprise being released isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's personal. It's touching the core of who you are, not just fixing what's around you, but healing what's within you. This is restoration with precision. Restoration with memory. God is returning not just what was taken, but the time you lost trying to understand why. This Saturday, you will experience clarity that will silence every lie that ever said you weren't chosen. You'll wake up with vision sharper than you've had in years. You'll understand things without overthinking. You'll feel confident in places that once triggered your doubt. That's not a mood swing. That's transformation. That's the surprise arriving in your soul before it reaches your hands. And once you align with it internally, there's nothing that can block it externally. Don't look for dramatic signs. Look for divine confirmation in your awareness. You'll feel it. A lightness, a boldness, a shift in your breathing, a calm where there used to be tension, a peace that doesn't ask questions. These are spiritual upgrades entering your field. And they are the first signs that what was written for you is now walking toward you with speed. The universe is obeying the instruction it received about your life. This is no longer theory. This is timing. God's surprise will not be common. You won't be able to explain it without using words like unbelievable or miraculous. People will ask how you did it. And you won't have steps to list, only alignment to mention. Because what's about to unfold is not because of a perfect plan, but a perfect permission. God simply decided now. Now you are ready. Now it's your turn. Now the story opens. Now the light hits. Now the power arrives. Now the script flips. You'll begin to feel differently. The environments that once drained you will start to repel you. The conversations that once excited you will begin to feel empty. That's not disconnection. That's redirection. You are being lifted into a realm that doesn't entertain distractions. You are being drawn into spaces that reflect the version of you that's receiving this Saturday surprise. The energy you carry is too high now to tolerate the ordinary. And this change will feel like relief. You may find yourself wanting to be alone more. You may find silence more soothing than sound. That's not isolation. That's incubation. The divine surprise has weight, and your spirit knows you need space to hold it. Don't resist the pull to retreat. Don't question the sudden urge to rest. God is making room inside you before he fills the outside of your life. This is holy rewiring, sacred preparation, spiritual readiness. And when the moment hits, when Saturday opens its vault and your name is called, everything you've been holding in your heart will be validated. The prayers, the silent declarations, the nights you asked God if you were crazy to believe so much with so little proof. It will all make sense. The dots will connect. The lines will form a picture, and that picture will scream one truth. God was always listening, always planning, always moving. This Saturday won't need an explanation. It will speak its own language. And you, chosen one, will understand every word. Because it's not just a blessing. It's a response. It's the universe responding to the signal you've been sending for years. It's time. And heaven has already begun the countdown. You're not watching it happen. You're walking into it. You're not wishing anymore. You're receiving. You're not preparing. You're positioned. The surprise has left eternity, and now it's showing up in your reality. Chosen one. If only you could see the preparation that's been happening in the background. The realm of spirit has been in motion long before your eyes ever caught a glimpse of the change. What you're stepping into isn't luck, it's design. This Saturday isn't sneaking up on you, it's been waiting for you to be ready. And now readiness has met revelation, timing has met territory, and favor has found your face. You didn't miss the window, you didn't fall behind. You've been perfectly aligned all along. That's the beauty of divine orchestration. Even when you thought you were wandering, God was writing. Even when you doubted the delay, heaven was measuring the moment. Every misstep, every detour, every delay has now been absorbed into something greater. The script was never off. You just hadn't reached the right scene. But now the spotlight turns and everything you need enters stage left. The surprise is real and it's close. You can almost feel it in the air. The way time itself feels charged, like everything is waiting to unfold. That's not your imagination. That's your spirit catching divine scent. Heaven is stirring the environment around you.